Because I run this fitness channel on YouTube, I get asked by a lot of my friends and subscribers, of course, this one question. Ranveer, how do I stay motivated? How do I stick to the long-term process of fitness? And that's why I decided to make today's video, because this is a very important concept that you need to understand if you're serious about a long-term fitness lifestyle, or if you're even serious about developing great character, which is way more important than something like fitness. Now, here's what you need to know. Initially, to step into something like fitness, you need motivation. You need something to inspire you, something to get your dynamite just lit up. But once the dynamite blows up and you step into the gym and you begin your fitness journey, you got to keep the fire going. You got to keep sticking to the process. You've got to keep bringing your ass to the gym. And how does that happen? It's not about motivation. Don't ask me how I stay motivated. Don't ask me to motivate you. What you've got to understand is that more than motivation, it's about discipline. So to make you guys understand this a little bit better, I'm going to talk a little bit about my daily routine. I'm a YouTuber. I upload videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I have a fixed schedule I follow. No one made this schedule for me. I decided it. I don't have a boss. I don't have a producer. I decide everything that I'm supposed to do for this channel, to keep this channel running, and more than anything, to keep my long-term streak going. Now, initially, of course, it's very difficult to get used to a process like this. I put pressure on myself in order to stick to that process. It's very similar to sticking to long-term fitness. When I'm going to sleep on Sunday nights, the first thought in my head is, oh, new week, new videos. What am I going to make this week? That's how I look at it. I don't need anyone to call me and remind me to think of making new videos. It comes for me internally. It comes from inside me. When you're talking about sticking to long-term processes, that's the key. It needs to come from inside you. And how does it come from inside you? Your mind will only give birth to discipline if you create some form of discipline in your life. Now, let's just take up this word called discipline. What is discipline essentially? Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. You need to always have that long-term vision. If you have a certain goal that you want to achieve, you've always got to keep that goal at the back of your head. When we're talking about sticking to long-term processes, there's going to be a zillion moments where there'll be distractions and you'll be demotivated and you won't want to stick to that long-term process, primarily because you're bored. But the people who get past these hurdles are the ones who actually end up sticking to the long-term process. Now, don't let this word called discipline overwhelm you. It's not that difficult. Discipline is always about making the correct decision in certain moments. Suppose you need to go to the gym on a Monday evening, but you're demotivated, you're lazy, you're tired after work, and there's a cricket match going on and you really want to watch that cricket match at home. Here's where discipline will come into play. It's between choosing what you want now in terms of the cricket match and all that comfort, and what you want most. Your long-term goal, your long-term vision, your long-term benefit. You've got to keep reminding yourself that if you stick to the long-term uncomfortable process, eventually the rewards are going to be much bigger than watching that cricket match for those 3 hours. That's what you've got to keep reminding yourself. You're building your character by just sticking to a process. And character building is way more important than who's going to win that cricket match. This is just one example, but long-term discipline comes after a series of these correct decisions. Initially, it'll be very difficult to choose the right path, to stick to the more difficult but correct path. Eventually, you're going to reach a stage where creating this discipline isn't that difficult. You'll be used to making that correct decision, missing that football or cricket match, going to the gym even on days where you're very tired. That is how you stay motivated. You cannot try getting motivated through external factors if we're talking about long-term processes. If you want to stick to a process in the long term, create that internal discipline and go for it. Go for the kill.